Let's start. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, traders. Good morning. Those of us that are in already, I want to appreciate you all for taking our time to be here today. It's a brand new week, one more time. Of course, we thank God for today. We thank God for this week. We thank God for our businesses. And of course, we believe God that, believe in God. And of course, that our work and our businesses will prosper this week and forevermore. Share. So let's begin. For those of us that are in already, I greet you. Good morning. Mr. Felix, good morning. All the way from Akure. I'll be coming to Ondo State this next week or thereabouts. And of course, I'll be expecting you to at least cook pounded yam for me. Not from Buka, not from Buka, no. I don't want all those buka or those pounded yam joints. I want homemade food, right? Remember, I'm from Ondo State, so I'll be coming home for for felicitation. And of course, that's that. Let me look through the list again to see who is there, so that I can also greet you. Good morning. Let me look at the list. I think we have. Let me see. Kediashi, right? And of course, we have Olalekan, we have Akinola, we have Emi, we have Binga, we have Mbata, we have Okina, and of course, we have Omojayogbe. Very nice name, Omojayogbe. Of course, we have Oluwasegun as well. My namesake. We have SS. I don't know what SS means, but of course, we have Rashidat. Okay, so I greet you all. 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 I greet you. I'm happy to be here one more time. As long as the sun will continue to rise, as long as the rain will continue to fall, continue to be here by the grace of God. Of course, you will also be here, okay, in the land of the living to celebrate and, of course, to do business. Now, let's quickly move on to the business part of today. We're going to be looking at the market together. And of course, I'm going to be also be sharing some insight as to what you can do differently to, to make your life and of course your business better. And of course, you remember it's the age of AI, so there are some things you can actually ask AI to do for you. Okay, on your own, you can just ask AI. For example, you want to place a trade on something, and you can take a picture or a screen of the chart and submit to AI and ask AI to analyze it for you and tell you the possible direction of price. And of course, you can trade and make money. I've been doing this, and of course, it's been okay. But of course, it's been okay for me. So the only challenge you may have is the prompt part, okay? And of course, with that, you can as well go ahead and, do a course, that can fetch you something, an idea of how to do. You can do a prompt engineering course online. Some of them are free, some of them are paid. Okay, so you can, of course, do it and get to know how to prompt your AI to actually deliver a better perspective to you. Okay, this is not a class for that, but of course, I'm telling you, those are possibilities that you can also use to, as a way to just corner around and make money. Now, the chart you're looking at is 100% AUD USD. I actually just closed the trade on it this morning. So if you look at my chart or even my trade, so I just closed this trade this morning. Today is 15th. I closed it less than 20 minutes ago. Okay, I closed it at 07:58, and this is about 8:10. So I closed about 12 minutes ago. Okay, I don't even know why I closed it, but I know the trade has been on for a while. And of course, it's a profit. I don't know, but I just had to just shut it down. I was a little bit irritated because the arrow signal here suggests that USD is going to drop. Okay, for me, and of course, I place a sell, but I don't know why the thing has refused to just go down. So out of frustration, I just close it. But I still believe that the arrow signal is valid, okay, for direction. Okay, and remember, I'm looking at the daily chart. Excuse me. So that's why I actually create the trade. So you're going to be looking at, of course, this is my real account. So all of you know that I don't trade them all. So I'm going to be looking at some other instruments like, US 100, US 30, D40, gold, and of course, USD CHF, and so on and so forth, USD CAD. Now, for USD CAD, I actually placed a trade because I actually was hoping that this price was going to go up from here. Let me show you from here. But unfortunately, I don't know what happened. On Thursday, it just reversed and begins to go haywire to the downside. So based on what I can see this morning, the instrument is still kind of bearish. Okay, so we can just put it into test and check what the price could do with AI. All right, so those are possibilities. All right, so I'll be sharing the screen on how to prompt. Okay, so let me first of all close this and use a signal arrow, okay, to tell me what this could be. Okay, so the arrow is still pointing to the downside on the 1 hour time frame. On the 4 hours, it's pointing to the upside. And of course, on the daily, it is pointing to the upside. So if the 1 hour is pointing down, you can see the arrow here. Let me paint it for you. Here it is pointing down. On the 4 hours, it is pointing to the upside. Here, right here, only to the upside. And of course, on the daily, it is also pointing to the upside. You can also see it right there that it is pointing to the upside on daily. So which one should you believe? Is it the 1 hour, the 4 hours, or the daily? I want to see or hear your suggestion, everybody. Carlo, good morning. Good morning. So I want to see your suggestion. What do you think USD CAD will do? Okay, based on some of these indicators that we just that I just published. What do you think USD CAD will do? Everybody. Some people say daily strong buy, some people say up, some people say down. So but let's ask AI what the price of USD CAD could do. All right, we'll just prompt AI to give us an idea. Now I'm giving you these because of course those are possibilities on the chart, or those are things you can do on your own. Okay, so let me go to a page that I can share. Of course, we can look at it all together. Okay. First of all, we need to visit, before we look at anything, we need to visit forexfactory.com to look at events for the week. Of course, I'm going to just go ahead and for today, we have CAD CPI by 2:30. That's it's not a tentative event, but it's coming up by 2:30 in the afternoon today. So remember, and of course, we are still discussing CAD. Excuse me. So let me just go ahead and look at the weekly view of this event this week. Apply settings. So for this week, we have this event slated for for the week starting from today, Monday. So we have CPI. Now CPI is a very big event that would actually support price direction on the chart. Now the CPI is expected to be negative or it's expected to be 0.1. Okay, so but let's look at what it means. All right, let's expand this envelope and look at it. So this one says the source is from Statistics Canada, and of course it's going to be latest release today. Okay, so it says it measures change in the price of goods and services purchased by consumers. For example, if consumers are paying more, we'll know the change. If consumers are paying less, we'll know the change. So actual greater than forecast is good for currency. Okay, but of course, release monthly, usually in the third Monday after month end. Okay, and of course, the next release is going to be January 19th. But let's look at it. So, first, note, this is the most important inflation-related release due to its earliness and broad scope. This is among the few non-seasonally adjusted numbers reported on the calendar, as it's the calculation most commonly reported. Now, why do you care? Consumer price accounts for the majority of overall inflation. Okay, so if people are paying more, it means that inflation is increasing. If people are paying less, it means that inflation is decreasing. Now, inflation is important to currency valuation or value because rising price leads to central bank to raise interest rates. out of respect for their inflation containment mandate. Now, the average price of various goods and services are sampled and then compared to the previous sampling. And of course, now, if you look at this figure, 0.1, we are expecting, we are expecting 0.1. So let's look at something. Let's ask ChatGPT what this means. Okay, very fast. ChatGPT. Okay, let's go to a new chat. Let's go to a new chat. And that's ChatGPT, what this means. Okay, so CPI for card slated to be released today by 2:30 p.m. Nigeria time. The previous forecast is 0.2%, and the previous report is 0.2%, and the forecast 0.1%. If this number comes out as forecast, what will happen to the price of USD CAD? Now, I'm going to go back here and edit a little bit. If the previous figure. Okay, so let's look at this. All of us, let's look at this. Be patient. Okay, so I'm going to hit enter and then ask AI what this means. So some of these things that I'm doing here, you can also do on your own. Okay, you can do it over your phone. You can even ask Meta AI or your WhatsApp to do this. It will do it. All right, they are all AIs, agents, and of course they can print some of these figures for you. So let's look at the result. It says if Canada's CPI prints at the forecasted 0.1 lower than the previous 0.2, the baseline expectation is bullish. Okay, USD CAD, meaning USD CAD is more likely to do what? To move up. Now, look at it. The figure, the chart, okay, the chart, USD CAD chart is on the daily chart. It prints a signal that prices will mostly do what? Go up. On the 4 hours, the price will mostly do what? Go up. On the 1 hour, it says price will mostly continue to do what? To go down. Now we know that D1 supersedes H4, and of course H4 supersedes H1. But let's look at what AI is now saying based on the event that is coming up today by 2:30. So, what the CPI means for CAD? A lower CPI is equal to weaker inflation figure. Okay, that reduces the urgency for the Bank of Canada to stay hawkish. Market will price in lower probability of rate hikes or earlier rate cut. Result, CAD weakens, right? Now, 2, impact on USD CAD. USD CAD, if CAD weakens, it takes more CAD to buy USD. So USD CAD goes up, right? So forecasted CPI 0.1 means bearish for CAD and of course bullish for USD CAD. How strong will the move be? This depends on 3 things. 1, 0.1 is already fully priced in. If the answer is yes, move may be muted or choppy. Now, 2, USD side condition. If USD is already strong, clean upside. If USD is weak, reaction may stall, right? And of course, market positioning, if traders are heavily long on CAD, the reaction will be sharper. Now, let's look at this. Based on what I see on the chart, okay, even before reading the remaining ones, based on what I see on the chart, let's go back to the chart and share idea. Based on what I can see here, a lot of traders are currently bearish on CAD. Okay, it's foretell even on H4 that a lot of traders are 100% bearish on CAD. Look at it. The price is 100% going down. Okay, this means that a lot of traders are currently bearish. They are not bullish on CAD. They are currently bearish on CAD. Okay, because the AI agent is telling us here that it depends on what the traders are doing. Okay, and based on what we see, traders are not buying it. They're doing what? they are selling it. So the reaction will be sharper only if they are buying it, but they're not buying it now. Okay, they're selling it. So the reaction may actually stall. Okay. So if you ask me what this means, so it could actually mean that USD CAD may not be that bullish, right? But that doesn't mean that bearish. Of course, it could also be bearish. So except the results come out negative, that's when the Canadian dollar will be strong, all right? Okay, so common trap important. So if CPI print exactly as forecasted, watch for initial spike up followed by pullback. Okay, why? Because smart money often buy the rumor, okay, and of course sell the news. That's very important. So you need to actually find out what that one means your AI agent. Of course, my honest trading opinion, bias, bullish USD card. That's what the AI is saying, not my opinion. The AI opinion is saying bias, bullish, and of course, the question, don't chase the first candle. Let the 5 minutes or 1 to 5 minutes candle reset you. Of course, trade continuation only if the structure supports it. Of course, if you want, I can break this into pre-news, post-news trading plan, or map it directly to your MT4, MT5 execution logic, okay, stop loss, and of course, etc., etc. Now, what I just did here is just a simple prompt. That's it. You may want to copy it, maybe for later use. For example, maybe you want to do it on gold. Yeah, sorry, you want to do it on USD. You want to do it on USD JPY. You want to do it on any news. Okay, you can just put the figure and of course put the prompt, and before you know it, AI will give you what you need. So the era of saying I don't know what to trade or I don't know how to trade is long gone, because AI is already here to actually settle this up for all of us. So that's the way it is. And of course, let's go back to the Forex Factory now to look at other events slated for the week. Okay, so we know that today is CPI, and we also discussed it now. And of course, if we move to tomorrow, which is 8 o'clock in the morning, don't forget claimant count change will come up for pound, and for euro 9:30 is their manufacturing PMI. So you want to actually focus on the euro USD at 9:30 tomorrow. And of course, for Wednesday, let's look at Wednesday. Pound CPI will also come up. So you can also do the exact same thing we did for CAD now for tomorrow, and of course look at what pound could do. And don't forget that you can also do GDP, okay, quarter by quarter for 10:45 p.m. That's same Wednesday. And Thursday, we're going to be looking at monetary policy summary. That's the rate. Remember, rate was actually on the table last week for USD and for I think Japanese yen, or okay, I think AUD and possibly CAD. I'm not sure. Okay, so but this week we're looking at rate for pound, of course, CPI for USD. Okay, also coming up on Thursday. Of course, Friday finally we have policy rate for Japanese yen. Now, this is tentative. Tentative means we are not sure of the time. Okay, we cannot tell you the time that the event will happen. Maybe it is 4:30 in the morning, maybe it is 4 o'clock in the morning. We are not 100% sure. That's why they put it tentative, but the event could actually happen that day. Of course, by 8 p.m., by 8 a.m., we're going to be looking at retail sales for pound. So this week is fully packed, which means that the money to do Christmas is settled for this week, right? So all you need to do now is simple. Go ahead and load your account. Load it as much as you can. Load it as much as 3 million, 4 million, okay? So that you can hit it big in terms of lot and, bring in the money, okay, to your bank account. And of course, you can actually celebrate Christmas the way you want it to be celebrated. So I'm wishing you well when it comes to news event, and that's the way it is on the calendar. Now, I'm going to go straight to technical now, and I'll go back to my chart. Then we can look at what to do. So now that we know what event is happening, and especially for today and for CAD, we're looking at USD CAD. And of course, not just USD CAD, you could trade CAD JPY. Okay, so if we go to where's now? We can even trade CAD CHF, you can trade AUD CAD. Okay, those are events you can trade for today, right? For today, you can even trade Euro CAD, and of course you can trade New Zealand CAD. There's nothing you cannot trade. Okay, in fact, you can even trade all of them if you like. Let's look for CAD JPY. I actually like CAD JPY really. CAD JPY. Okay, so these are events you can trade for today. Okay, now let's look at the UD card also. You can also trade the UD card. You can trade Euro card. You can trade. In fact, the way I see it, I think Euro card could be a game changer for me. If I want to trade that one, I might want to be looking at this Euro card. Let me go ahead and check the signal to see what the price will do. Good morning. So based on what these indicators are saying on the Euro card front, there's no signal right now. Let's go ahead and check. Okay, the signal is down for Euro card. Okay, but of course, it remains to be seen what the price will do at that 230 today. But of course, I'm just telling you that you can trade any of these items, any of these instruments on the chart. Okay, you could trade any one of them, right? You can go to H4, you can go to H1, and of course you can trade. And don't forget that based on what the AI suggested, you could wait for you could wait for 5 minutes after the news, 10 minutes after the news before you place your trade, or you could place it instantly as the news report. That's by 2:30. And if you want to trade based on the arrow, based on technical, that means that as the arrow suggests now, that the price will go up, you just go ahead and initiate your trade in that direction. Now, I'm going to go to Euro USD, okay, very fast, and look at what the price could do. Now, Euro USD gave me a surprise last week. I was actually anticipating that the price could break down, but unfortunately, the price actually broke up and no retest yet to either the trend line or the moving average. What do I mean? The price has failed to return to this moving average to test it. Okay, it has not tested this moving average anywhere after this breakout. And even after this breakout, it has not tested this trend line anywhere. So I want to believe that this price could still give us a surprise. And since the price is bullish, it could actually give us a support. Okay, it's all price fluctuation. Every price fluctuation gives us a hint. Okay, even if the price is going to be bullish, it will still give us a support. It needs support. Price needs support to move. Okay, it needs resistance to drop. It needs support to move to the upside. Okay, so and if you look at the H4 clearly, you know that the price has actually broken a resistance, a previous resistance, at around this zone, right? This resistance was broken. And if you ask me, that resistance has been tested, right? It has been tested. So it is possible that this price may not actually test this moving average. It will not test this trend line because right now it has tested this resistance. Okay, there's a support here, and it has given us kind of like a bullish candle, support down. So it doesn't mean that this price will continue to push forward. Well, it is left to be seen. Now, it has tested the support, but it's still currently around that zone. So for us to be bearish, we need the support to be broken, right? So we need for the price to break away from there and possibly print more candles inside of this green zone. If you print candles inside of this green zone, these are bearish candles, and break below, then it will mean that the price will most likely return and touch this moving average, okay? Or touch this trend line, any of the two. All right, so that's the way I see the USD this morning. Possibility that the price fluctuate is there. Okay, that means the price will be choppy, to go up and it go down. So whichever direction you trade on Euro USD today, you will likely make money. If you place a buy, you will still make money. If you place a sell, you will still make money because the price will most likely dance around and decide where it wants to go. Whether it wants to continue to the upside or it wants to go back and retest some of the supports, okay, that were recently formed, right? So that's where I see Euro USD. And for AUD USD, I'm bearish on this one, my perspective, based on the arrow signal that I have on the screen. But because USD itself is not that strong, I may not actually jump into conclusion. But I might, kind of like do kind of a retest of this zone would actually give me something. So I think I'm going to be anywhere in this zone I can actually trade around. So if the price retraces to these zones, that between where it is now and this arrow, I could be looking to sell, right? It means that the price could actually drop a little bit, and if it drops, it's slowly in my favor. But of course, anything that pushes the price and it closes above this line, or above 0.66866 means that the price is ready to do a long thing, right? That means the price could actually be bullish. Okay, that's where I see AUD USD. And then I'm going to go straight to USD CHF. This one already gave us a signal on 1 hour that the price on the cross would actually go to the upside. Okay. Now I'm going to give you my perspective on this one right now. So if I look at what this indicator is saying, this indicator is saying that there's possibility that the price could go up based on the cross of 1 hour. And then also there's a bullish engulfing candle that formed before then. That's before this cross. Okay, there was a bullish engulfing bar somewhere around here that actually give credence to this particular report. So based on this information, I could be long on USD right? Actually could do that. Okay. It's been long I actually traded USD It's been long. I think I might just, take a little bit of risk here and go long on this one. That's the way I see it, my humble opinion. But you might want to watch it and, because the trend is down, okay, actually trading against trend now, which is not advised, okay, in the market. It is not advised for you to trade against trend, but based on what the indicator is saying, I might just, go long on this one. And of course, if I check the signal arrow, if you give me the same thing, yeah, the same perspective, okay, the signal arrow is still saying that the price could actually go up, right? And of course, based on this, the price could actually do that. But if we look at trend line, and of course, let's look at trend line. This is a trend, right? Okay, this is a trend, right? So let's zoom in and check. So we need for us to actually be positive on this one. And of course, there's a retest already on this one. So more likely that the price could actually go to the upside. But of course, a break below this trend line, because currently the price above it, a break below it could actually spell doom for this, and of course the price could retrace, which means that if the price, we can place another trend line like so, which means that if the price close below this second trend line, then the price will go down. So we're going to be keeping a tab of this one. If the price do anything sort of like close below this line, the second line. So I could just make it line 1 and 2 so that you can draw your own too. So you go to your phone and draw your own. Okay, so let me make this one. Okay, trend line or regression line. Regression line. Regression line. One there and one. Plus I just put this on elevation line 1. Elevation line 1. Okay, I'll just make it line 2. All right. So what I'm trying to say here is that this elevation line, you can see the way it is going up. It's about plus or minus 45 degrees, maybe minus 45 degrees, all right? 45 degrees really should be around maybe 40 degrees. So which means that the trend is a very good one. Any trend that is around 45 degrees is good. It means that the price could actually explode to the upside, all right? But based on what we see here, if this price prints and close below elevation line 2, it will mean that the price will most likely drop. That's what it means, right? That the price will go down. Then you can place a sell. But if the price continues to trade above regression line 1, so it means that the price could actually go to the upside. So you watch it, and of course you trade accordingly on USD or USD CHF, right? USD CHF. Okay, so USD card is already analyzed. You can still see that the price is currently still bearish on USD card. And of course, we are waiting for the news by 2:30. So we might just keep USD card and wait until then, except you want to say, okay, I'm going to go with the signal arrow, then you can execute your trade already and trade in that direction. Okay. And of course, don't forget that any trade you pick, you should naturally use stop loss for that trade. Okay. So if you are taking a trade, any trade you are taking, your stop loss should be intact and of course be ready. Okay, and of course, the same thing with CAT CHF. Remember, we're waiting for the news by 2:30 to trade some of these channels that I opened already. Okay, so and if you ask me which of the instruments you can trade by that 2:30, I'll suggest you go for USD card, or you go for CAD CHF, or you go for AUD card, or you go for Euro card, or you go for CAD JPY. Now, you trade accordingly. You already know how to do that. Okay, so let me quickly move on now to comment section and see what people are saying. So, excuse me. Everybody, if you have a comment, you can drop it. You have questions on some of these analysis, you might as well drop it. You have suggestions, it's welcome, welcome development. And of course, if you want me to look at anything, all right, you can mention anything. I will be glad to look at them. So keep your suggestions and your questions coming and your requests as well. Let me go to the next one on today's list, which is going to be Euro pound, right? And of course, silver, according to Abdul Kadri, said I should look at silver. Now, Euro pound has been sluggish for a while now. And based on what I see here, I actually closed my traded profit on it. Okay. It could actually be either way. That means there's no particular signal for this one because the gap today was covered immediately. There was a gap, and of course, it was covered like immediately. Okay. In the first 1 hour, it was covered. So there's no issue here. Everything is balanced. This price is actually trading completely priced in. So there's no issue with this one. I don't think there's any bias on the price. Okay. So if you ask me, I'll just be looking for indicators to trade. Okay, I could use signal arrow. Now, remember, if you want my signal arrow, it is not hard. All you need is to fund your account up to 1 million. Of course, you can request for a copy. But based on what this indicator is saying, the price could actually go down. That's what the indicator is saying, right? So you can actually request through your account manager that you want a signal arrow, and of course, it will deliver to you. Of course, you can use it to your benefit, all right? I'm going to go to some other instruments right now. I'm going to go to silver. Silver. Let's go ahead and look at silver. So silver price based on, let's start with the TFT system, bullish. And of course, we go to EMA indicator, bullish also. We go to MA cross, not decided on MA cross on the 1 hour time frame. But on the 4 hours time frame, it is already decided that the price is bullish. So this is the way I see silver. Okay, on the 4 hours time frame, it is bullish. But of course, on the 1 hour time frame, it is not decided. Of course, on the daily time frame, it is bullish. Now, let's go ahead and check with Bollinger Band. Okay, on the Bollinger Band front, the price, even though it gives us a bearish engulfing, okay, around the upper band, is it enough reason for us to place a sell? No, because the price actually failed to close above the band. So the mean reversion may not be in the offering, which means that the price may not go down. That's what it means. But from all indications on 4 hours time frame, the price actually up. So, and for us to, if you want me to actually give you an opinion as to what you should do, I would actually like to look at this candle. I'm going to put an arrow on it, this big bearish candle. Okay, and then on the 4 hours. So if you want to trade silver, you can as well do what I'm suggesting now. You go to 4 hours time frame. Okay, you go to 4 hours time frame. Then you will see this candle bearish. Okay, and of course you can, excuse me, you can put a horizontal line above it, just above it. Okay, and the horizontal line below it. That's the way I would advise for you to trade it. Then you wait for the price to decide what it wants to do. So if the price close above it, okay, most likely close above it, then you click a buy. If the price close below it, you place a sell. Why do I say that? Because of this candle, this candle. It's actually a side bar, and every other candle has been traded in between the range of this bar. The range of this bar will actually decide what the price could do. But I want to believe that if it is based on technical alone, then the price would actually go down. If it is based on technical. But fundamental supports a buy or silver, you can actually ask your AI also to give you an objective, okay, on this. Matter of fact, you can even plot whatever you want to plot. Like this price is plotted now. You can submit the chart to, your ChatGPT, your Meta AI, your Grok, your whatever AI that you can lay your hand on. They are actually good. They are agents that can help you analyze price, and of course you can trade accordingly. And if all else failed, remember, if every other thing failed, you have tried to trade, you don't know how to trade, you can as well, go and, you know, choose the option of copy. You can copy somebody and begin to make money. The important thing is fund your account and copy somebody, fund the account and trade, fund the account and, ask the AI to give you direction, fund the account and make money. That's the important thing. Okay. So that's the way I see silver this morning. Because I'm going to be waiting for the price to actually break above or below. Then I can, decide if I want to trade. Let's switch to US30. So on the US30 front, I'm going to just switch to H4 and look for an opinion. On the US30 front, the price has been bullish, at least so far so good. But based on what we can see here now, wow, I never knew this price has been so bullish up to this extent, really. Okay, but this is the way it is. Okay, the signal arrow suggests that the price could drop. You can as well follow, or you request for a signal arrow, use it accordingly. Okay, I'm going to go to comment section and ask people to look at. Somebody said I should look at USDCHF. I've already looked at USDCHF, and the only thing I've not looked at is UDJPY. Okay, but we look at USDCHF already. Okay, I'm going to go to. Okay, keep your suggestions coming. I'm seeing all of them. Okay. So this is the way I see US30. Even though the price suggests that I could sell, I don't think I want to go bearish on this one. I don't think so. Okay. But based on what we can see, that is what the indicator is saying. Okay. So the indicator is saying, all right, keep your suggestions coming. Okay. Somebody say USDJPY. Okay. Let's go ahead and open up USD Japanese yen. Okay, so USD Japanese yen has been kind of like bearish based on what we can see on the screen. Let's go to H4 and check with AI. Oh, sorry, the signal arrow. Signal arrow suggests bullish, at least according to the latest arrow, suggests bullish. Okay, but are we going to go bullish? The question is, let's go to H1 and check. That's what this one is also saying. So does it mean that we should go bullish? Let's check. Okay, so but based on what the price is saying, there is something we call double bottom. Okay, double bottom, and that's this one. Okay, when the price have the same kind of like seat in the same direction or in the same area. Okay, kind of like support in the same area. You could say it is actually well supported. Okay, but there's no information on Japanese yen market as far as I'm concerned. As of now, there's no information. So technical will still be okay, but we can also look at some other indicators. For example, Bollinger Band. Okay, what is this one saying? Let's find out. Okay, out and in. So this one can actually give us a near reversion, which means that the price could actually, go bullish. Maybe 10 pips will be fine. Maybe about 14 pips to profit. But let's make it like maybe 20 pips. For me, I could just get like 20 pips on this one. Okay. And of course, my stop loss is always intact. Don't forget, your stop loss is your safety net. Okay. If anything goes wrong, your trade is going to hit stop loss and you'll be fine. Okay. So if the price decided to go against me, to hit my stop loss, and of course I'll be fine. Right, so that's the way I see it. So there's no, I could not say the price is going to be 100% bullish today because the trend is down. Remember, the trend is down on Japanese yen. So you might want to be looking at selling if you consider trend as your friend. You don't want to trade against trend, or you might want to say, okay, I'm waiting for the price to touch the trend line, and of course, I'm going to be hitting on sell. So you might do that. Those are possibilities also. So you might want to be selling around the trend line, right? Sell around this trend line. Anytime the price gets to that line, you can place a sell. Anytime price gets to that line, you can continue to sell. Remember, anytime price gets to that line, you can sell. That means you are following trend 100%. Okay, that's the way I see USD JPY. All right, trend is bearish. Okay, you might be looking to sell anytime the price gets to that trend line because it'll still be good to go. Let me look at the comment section. A lot of people are dropping instruments. Okay, but so far so good. We have looked at some of them, even though we cannot look at all. Okay, we cannot look at all. But let's go ahead and check with GBP USD. I've not looked at GBP USD for a while. GBP USD for a while. Okay, so let me start with the signal arrow and look for the 4 hour time frame. This one says most likely down. That's what it says. What does this say on the movie? I'm interested in that USD trade. Okay, have a sell on it that I've not closed. I'm seeking opinion of signal on it. Okay, possibly. So we wait for this one to actually give us what it wants to give us. But based on what the signal is saying, price could actually be bearish. Now remember, you can actually request for my signal. It's for me, it's hot cake. Okay, it says what it wants to say and stick with it. So the condition to get it simple fund up to 1 million. Because you get it narrow. Because you can use it on your charts to tell you what to do for that to buy, to sell. All right. Okay. So we'll go to comment section now and look at what people are saying. Somebody said I should look at D40. But what I already look at US30, and of course D40 and US30 behave the same way. Okay. I like to use this one to give me an idea of what to do. Okay, based on what the 4 hours is saying, price is bullish. And based on what the 1 hour is saying on Bollinger Band, let me look at possibility of Bollinger Band template. Okay, near reversion is already done on this one. And the price has reversed from the upside and has already hinged on the middle band, which means that the price is supported around the middle band, which means that the price could still get back to the upper band, all right? That means the price will still get to this upper band. Those are possibilities, all right? Those are possibilities. They are not definitive, right? They are positive. They are positive, or sorry, positive. They are possible price movements. I don't know how to call it, but that's the way I see it. I'm kind of short of word as to what to call it for you. But what I'm trying to say here is that the price could still get back to this upside. Those are possibilities, but they are not definitive. All right, the price may not get there. That's what I'm saying. Also, so I'm going to go to some other instrument chart. Uh, let me go to FRA40 and check what this one is doing. Actually, like FRA40 at a point in time. I've not been changing it. Behaves exactly the same way as Euro USD. Okay, so but based on what we see here, the price is currently what it is. So the mini version of this one has failed to meet the lower band, which means that the price will still get to the lower band. That's what it means. Okay, so but as of this moment, I don't think this price is up. I think the trade is still closed. Let me check. Today's date is what? I think the trade is open, but the price is really not that moving so much. You can still trade it, okay, and make money with it. Let me check what people are saying. Okay. Somebody said I've not concluded on GBP. Okay. Somebody say I've not concluded on GBP. I thought I already did something on it. Okay, let me go back to GBP. I already told you that the price of GBP is currently, based on what the scenario is saying, bearish, most likely. So, but what you can do, okay, is this. You will plot a trend line. Since this price is currently what it is, you plot a trend line like so. Well, this trend line is very steep, very, very steep. Okay, so based on what this price is saying, it is left to be seen if this price will break this trend line. And this trend line is a very strong one. It's a very, very strong trend line. Okay, we can duplicate it and make it do the opposite for us. Okay, so now this price, based on what I just draw for you now, based on what this trend line is saying, may not be or may not do what we're expecting it to do. Why I say that is because the price is currently sitting or close or trading close to this lower trend line. If it breaks the trend line, okay, so you need to wait for these 4 hours to close. 4 hours coming to close. If you break this trend line, if this price break this line, like break it and close below it, by all means, begin to place a sell. By all means, okay, you can begin to place a sell. And in fact, if the 4 hours candle close below it, if they close, you can switch to maybe 1 hour and look at what the candle structure says and get to place a sell. So based on this one, you only place a sell when this trend line is broken. But if anything happens and the price reverses, then please note that the price could actually get to the upper line, get to this upper side of the line. I'm going to put an arrow or even a paint. So the price could get to this level. If you fail to break this low, you get to this side. So those are possibilities. But let me just put it as a void. So the price could actually get to that level, right? So that's the way I see GBP/USD. Of course, that will conclude today's session. And we're closing early. I think we have 7 minutes into it. But let me look at the comment section to see if people are asking me to do something. Somebody said I should look at CAD JPY. Okay. CAD JPY. Well, there's nothing special about CAD JPY. We know that event is coming up today, slated for CAD, and the time is 2:30 p.m. So my honest opinion on this one is simple. You will wait for that time, right? And then you will trade at that time. But based on what the indicator is saying, the price could be bearish, all right? That means the price will be bearish. The only issue I have with CAD JPY, which is an issue I have with JPY generally, is that Japanese yen is weak. Okay, so even if the price will go down, most likely, go and write it down, it will not pass this line, most likely. It will not pass this line. I'm going to correct this. Wait a second. Okay, this is a very strong trend line. Can you see it? It has about 4 points of contact. Okay, contact point 1, contact point 2, contact point 3, plus contact point 4. So even if this price is going to fall down, this is where it will likely get to and rest. So you might want to do something if you want to be smart with what you are saying. I like doing limit orders sometimes. So you might want to do buy limit and wait for the price to come for this and grab you. For example, if you had done buy limit around here, all right? If you had done it around here, or maybe around here, as of the time the price was actually threatening to come down, it would have picked you in as a buyer, and by now you would have been in profit. So if you want to repeat it, okay, you can repeat it to the upside. Okay, hoping that the price will get to, hoping that the price will get to this trend line. Let me correct it. This trend line in the future, And the future could be today. Yeah. The future could actually be today. We never can tell, all right? And if you get there, you can actually be on a buy trade. Or you wait and of course get there. Of course, it picks you in as a buyer. So if I'm to trade CAD JPY, this is exactly what I'm going to plot on it. I'm going to plot a line like this and do a limit down on it. Okay. That's the way I'll trade it on 4 hours. Okay. Because I will not be looking to sell it based on the fact that Japanese yen is weak. Okay. But of course, if the price, because of the possibility of this CPI today being bearish for CAD, okay, the price could actually go down. You could sell and make money as price goes down. But once you get to that trend line, by all means, I would strongly advise you close your trade and move on, or you place a buy. So that's where I'll submit CAD JPY. Any other question? What's that name? Okay. Let me check the person that said that. The person is Sayodele Adeleye. Okay. I hope I've been able to answer your question. All right. That's my honest opinion on CAD JPY. Well aligned. All right. So we're waiting for the price to retrace to this trend line and of course begins to give us an idea of what to do. Okay. To sell or not to sell. Any other questions? Any other questions? How I don't feel the signal arrow. How I don't really understand this your question. Ike. How I don't fit the signal arrow. I don't really understand your question, Ike. Maybe you want to rephrase, or maybe if I open channel, you can ask me directly. Brown says his name is Akinola, right? His name is not Brown. His name is Akinola. So you need to watch the YouTube of this presentation to realize that your screen is too bold to do for me. I didn't catch your video analysis. So really, Akinola, I really don't understand. You said I need to watch the YouTube of this presentation to realize that my screen is too bold. Wow, my screen is bold, really. Please, everybody, is my screen too bold? Somebody says my screen is too bold, that it doesn't really catch my major points or analysis. Well, I don't really know what you mean by being bold. Okay, maybe it is too sharp. I don't know. What is bold? Okay, how do I get the signal arrow through your account manager, sir? Especially if you are yet to become a VIP, you can just go ahead and fund your account up to like 2 million, and then you get the signal arrow, $1,000, 2 million thereabout. Euro CHF, Alibody, I will try, right? Kano, thank you very much. And of course, maybe I can still have one more question down. Let me check. 5 new messages. Okay, says it's a VIP. Of course, you can get to the VIP. Okay, say my screen is not bold. That's Abiodun. Well, somebody says perfect. Somebody say my screen is okay. So maybe he zoomed. Right? So Brown, did you zoom in your screen? I'm not sure. Okay. So somebody said I should look at Euro CHF. Like very, very briefly, I'm going to just quickly touch on Euro CHF. Euro CHF, like very, very briefly. Okay. Then we close on that. Right. I'm going to go to 4 hours, check what the price is doing on Euro CHF scenario. Based on what the scenario is saying, the price could be bullish. But of course, you can also plot trend line to check whether this price is well supported. And based on what I can see here, the price is actually well supported. So the trend line suggests so that the price could actually be bullish. So you might be looking to go long on this one until further notice or until price begins to close below the trend line. And of course, you can be looking to sell. But based on everything we have here, UCHF could actually, I think we can just close with Euro AUD. I'm going to just see if I can just try to look at that. This is all based on Euro AUD scenario. So 4 hours. Okay, for Euro AUD, I was surprised last week. I wasn't here to trade it on Friday. I didn't trade it on Friday. I was actually looking out of this Euro AUD also. I'm also interested in this business of Euro AUD, right? I'm interested in it. So And based on what I can see here, this price is also well supported. So I'll be looking to trade it for the with bulls. So I could just insert some, dangerous moving averages, like the 50-period moving average, and it will be exponential. I'll just do okay, and then I'll go to maybe 1 hour time frame to look at entry. Okay, so with this, I'll be looking at trading it on as this now, and even as this now on this 1 hour, I could still trade. And that's even if the price failed to come back for this arrow or for this moving average. I expect it to come back for the moving average, but even if it doesn't come back, I can just do a mini trend line like this, like mini. I'm just going to just go to put this short, okay, with short, mini trend line, mini, okay. So, and then I'll be waiting for the price to close above the trend line. If the price closes above that trend line, I'll place a buy. That's if the price fails to go back to the lower side, then I can place a buy because every other thing supports such. So I want to appreciate all of you that stopped by today and be part of this class. And of course, I hope to see you tomorrow, same time, 8 o'clock. And of course, green pips, I wish you and your account. Have a blessed day. Bye-bye.